Hey everyone, and welcome to another video. Today we are diving deep into the world of mobile penetration testing by walking through the process of building Kali NetHunter for supported devices locally, right on your own system. For those who might be new to this, Kali NetHunter is a powerful mobile penetration testing platform built on top of Android, bringing the robust toolset of Kali Linux to your smartphone or tablet. While you can often find pre-compiled images on the official offensive security website, there are many reasons why you might want to compile the image yourself. Building locally gives you absolute control over the environment. It allows you to inspect the code, modify kernel configurations to enable specific features like bad USB or external Wi-Fi adapter injection, and ensure you are working with the absolute latest commits pushed by the developers. Furthermore, compiling it yourself is a fantastic learning experience that demystifies how Android custom ROMs and specialized kernels actually work under the hood. To get started with this process, you are going to need a reliable build environment. Typically, a native Linux installation or a high-performing virtual machine running Debian or Ubuntu is highly recommended. You will also need standard development tools installed on your host system, including Git for version control, Python 3 for executing the build automation, and various other dependencies like curl, zip, and essential build essentials. Those of you who want to build a Kali NetHunter image from our GitLab repository may do so using our Python build scripts. First, open up your terminal. You will want to navigate to a directory where you have plenty of storage space, as compiling Android kernels and downloading root file systems can take up several gigabytes of data. Once you are in your desired workspace, you need to pull down the core installer repository. To do this, you will execute a git clone command. Type out git clone and paste the link and press enter. As you hit enter, your system will reach out to the GitLab servers and begin downloading the repository. This initial repository is incredibly lightweight. It does not contain the massive device trees or the root file systems right off the bat. Instead, it acts as the central hub or the skeleton framework that contains the core logic necessary to fetch everything else. You'll see the terminal output displaying the cloning progress, resolving deltas, and unpacking objects. It should only take a few seconds on a standard broadband connection. Once the cloning process is complete, you'll notice a new folder in your current directory. You need to move into this folder to continue the process. Do this by typing cd Kali-NetHunter-installer. Now that you are inside the working directory, you might be tempted to immediately run the build script, but there is an essential preparatory step that must be completed first. Before you can build for a device, you will need to enter the Kali-NetHunter-installer directory and run /bootstrap.sh. This is a shell script designed to initialize your build environment properly. Go ahead and execute it. When you run this Bootstrap script, it does not just silently run in the background, it is interactive. This will ask you a few questions before downloading the devices folder. For instance, it might prompt you to confirm your target operating system or ask if you want to initialize specific submodules. After you answer the initial setup questions, the Bootstrap script begins its heavy lifting. It reaches out to fetch the most critical component for your local build, which is the devices repository. The NetHunter project supports dozens of different phones and tablets, from various Google Nexus and Pixel devices to OnePlus, Samsung, and Xiaomi hardware. All of these specific configurations are housed within that devices folder. Depending on your internet connection, this part of the process will take a bit of time. The script is downloading hundreds of device configuration files, kernel links, and patch sets that tell the build system exactly how to handle the hardware you eventually select. It is highly recommended to let this process run uninterrupted. Do not close your terminal window or let your computer go to sleep. You'll see a lot of text scrolling by as it links repositories and clones necessary submodules. This modular approach taken by the developers is actually quite brilliant. By keeping the device configurations separate from the main build scripts, the team can update device support, push bug fixes for specific phones, or add completely new hardware without having to alter the core installation logic. As you watch the Bootstrap script finalize, you're essentially watching your local machine mirror the entire hardware compatibility database of the NetHunter project. It is setting up the exact same environment that the official maintainers use to roll out their release builds. With the Bootstrap process successfully finished, your directory is now fully populated. You have the core scripts, and you have the massive list of supported device configurations. The main build script is also located in the Kali NetHunter installer directory and can be used to build images for multiple devices and Android OS versions. This script is written in Python, which manages the complex logic of parsing your command line arguments, validating your chosen device against the downloaded device tree, cross-compiling the kernel if necessary, and finally, zipping everything up into a flashable file that you can install via a custom recovery like TWRP. Because of the sheer number of variables involved in building an operating system modification, the build script relies heavily on command line flags. To see exactly how to use this tool and what options are available to you, run python3 build.py --h. The -h flag stands for help. When you run this, your terminal will populate with a comprehensive help menu. You'll see flags for defining the target device, flags for specifying the Android OS version, flags for choosing whether you want to build the full Kali root file system or just the kernel, and even options to select different desktop environments if you plan on using NetHunter's desktop interface via VNC. Taking a moment to read through this help output is highly recommended, as it gives you a complete overview of the power at your fingertips. To give you a very specific showcasing example of how this all comes together, let us structure a command for a popular hardware choice. To build an Android 10 image with caliphs for a OnePlus 6 or 6T device, you would normally target that specific hardware profile and OS version. However, let us look at a command targeting a slightly different OnePlus model and a much newer Android version to see how the script handles compatibility. We would run build.py as follows: python3 build.py -k OnePlus 7 -ooss --15. In this command, the -k flag tells the script we are targeting the kernel for the OnePlus 7 running Oxygen OS, and the --15 flag explicitly sets the target environment to Android 15. You hit enter, and the Python script immediately goes to work, checking the devices folder for the OnePlus 7 configuration specifically tinned for Android 15. But if you can see for Android 15, the kernel is now discontinued, so it gives an error. The terminal output stops, and you're presented with a message indicating that the build cannot proceed. This is a very common scenario in the world of custom Android development, and it's important to understand why it happens. As Android evolves from version to version, Google and the hardware manufacturers make massive structural changes to the Linux kernel that underpin the operating system. With recent versions of Android, Google has heavily enforced the generic kernel image or GKI architecture. This makes it incredibly difficult for independent developers to maintain the highly customized out-of-tree kernel patches required for NetHunter's advanced Wi-Fi injection and USB gadget features. For older devices like the OnePlus 7, the developer community simply does not have the resources to continually forward port these complex kernel modifications to the newest Android iterations like Android 15. The manufacturer stops releasing updated kernel source code, making it physically impossible to build a stable NetHunter kernel. When you encounter this discontinued error, it's the build script doing its job to protect you. Instead of attempting to compile incompatible source code and handing you a broken zip file that could potentially soft brick your phone, the script safely exits and informs you of the limitation. If you run into this, the solution is to refer back to the device documentation or the GitLab repository issues page to find the highest supported Android version for your specific phone. Often, you'll need to flash your phone back to an older, highly stable release, such as Android 11 or 12, where the custom NetHunter kernel is fully mature, maintained, and verified to work flawlessly. Building locally is incredibly rewarding, but it requires paying close attention to these version constraints. By understanding how to use the Git repository, the Bootstrap process, and the Python build scripts, you now have the knowledge to troubleshoot these errors, adjust your command line arguments, and successfully compile a custom penetration testing platform tailored perfectly to your hardware. Thank you for joining me in this tutorial, and happy building!